be seeing at Old Trafford a week tomorrow night? St Helens or Huddersfield will be there. This is the last ever match at Knowsley Road, the GPW recruitment stadium, to give it its official title in 2010. But Knowsley Road it has been known as for 120 years, and this is the final match that will be played on this famous old piece of grass. Kick-off delayed by 10 minutes, remember. The teams have been kicking their heels for a wee while. This is the way they line up. Wellens at full-back for Saints, Foster, Gidley, Soliola and Melly, Matty Smith and Kyle Eastman, the late inclusion by coach Mick Potter. The forwards, Graham, Cunningham the skipper, Hargreaves, Wilkin, Flannery and Pulatua. And on the bench, it's Roby, Clough, Dixon and Emmett. And the coach is Mick Potter. Huddersfield, Brett Hodgson's the skipper. At full-back, then it's Cudjoe, Lawrence, Gilmore and Hodgson. That's David Hodgson, Brown and Brough. Forwards, Griffin, Robinson, Mason, Lunt, Farlongo and Wild. And the interchange bench here, Crabtree, Kermon, Fayumu and Patrick. And the coach is last year's Coach of the Year, the reigning Coach of the Year till Monday night and Man of Steel night, Nathan Brown. Interestingly, we've got the two last incumbents of the Coach of the Year on show here tonight. Nathan Brown of Huddersfield, who are already out on the field and continuing their warm-up, and Mick Potter, who was the 2008 winner, who now, of course, is in charge at St Helens, and who next year will be over at Odsal in charge of the Bradford Bulls. Saints inside the dressing room still and waiting. They're hoping to emulate the Bulls, who contested 5 grand finals in a row between 2001 and 2005. If they win, they'll have played in every grand final since the Bradford Bulls run ended. And Steve-O, they've got to start as clear favourites on this highly charged, highly emotional night.
You'd have to agree with everything that's been said before in the build-up to this, Eddie, but the way that the Giants took apart Warrington last week in the first 20 minutes was something that was I will never ever forget. Such a talented side as the Warrington Wolves, they look absolutely nonplussed. And I think tonight Nathan Brown, the Huddersfield Giant coach, would have said this is probably the most important 20 minutes of your entire career, because if they can do exactly what they did against Warrington last week and leave St Helens stunned, then it could all turn sour for this final game at Knowsley Road. But you look at the St Helens side, has Mick Potter made a huge gamble in bringing back Kyle Eastman? I saw him warming up. I think there was a little bit of a limp in his step. It could be one of the biggest gambles of the year.
Kieran Cunningham leads the Saints out at Knowsley Road for the very last time. A traditional welcome onto the field. And Kieran Cunningham, who will be cast in bronze at the new stadium, about a mile or so away from this old ground. It's an important night for him as well. His 32nd playoff appearance, he has figured in every one since 1998. The odds favour Saints. They've won the last 16 meetings against Huddersfield here since the last Huddersfield win at Knowsley Road, 15-16 on the 26th of November 1978. And Phil Bentham is the referee, and of course Phil Bentham and all the other officials, they too are in the process of fighting for selection for the big night at Old Trafford next week. So Phil Bentham, the match referee, will be wanting a big 80 minutes as well. Saints then, in their traditional strip on this emotional night, will attack from right to left. Huddersfield changed blue and white. Foster gets us underway. The last ever 80 minutes at the famous old lady that is called Knowsley Road.
And not surprisingly, the big prop forward, James Graham, first to get the big hit in. It's important for both sides. They try to take control out there down the middle.
Farlongo to his feet will play the ball to Luke Robinson. Robinson fires it to Brown. A charge forward then from Darryl Griffin. That's the third tackle. Robinson again, a scampering little run from dummy half. Brought to ground though by the figure of Matt Gidley.
Interesting if they kick early. I think they are going. They're going on the fourth. They're not waiting till the last.
Good kick from Brough this, and it's picked up by Francis Melly. Melly then gets the ball away to Paul Wellens. Nearly through the gap. It was closed quickly by Stephen Wild. Foster with a jinking run.
I think they set the stall out there. You could see that Melly offloaded to the full-back Paul Wellens. They're not going to mess around, Saints. They're going to try to attack from even deep within their own half.
Cunningham at dummy half, just weighing up the options both ways. Gets the ball away. Hargreaves stands and plays it to Cunningham. There is Matty Smith.
They've gone on the fourth as well.
And here's the man who put the final gloss on the win at Warrington last week, Leroy Cudjoe. His length of the field try eventually put the Warrington Wolves to bed for the 2010 playoff series. And Brough from dummy half gives it to Falongo. That's good defence from James Graham again. Robinson spins the ball wide to Brown. Brown then to Brett Hodgson. And Hodgson was nearly through the gap. That was a very important tackle by Matt Gidley. Gilmore, Brown, pops the ball up to Griffin again, and Griffin will drive it forward for Huddersfield. They've got to the last tackle this time. Robinson waits, will look for Brough, and Brough with the kick. It comes across field, looking for Lawrence. That's invented. And Lawrence, we try to hack it forward, missed his kick completely. Francis Melly is away. Francis Melly down the line. Four come in to cut him down.
Great work by the prop forward there, Keith Mason. Melly looked as though he had the legs, but Mason got to him. Sensational stuff.
Saints on the front foot. Here is Gidley. And St Helens turning defence into attack immediately. Matty Smith at dummy half. Bryn Hargreaves will take it forward again for the Saints. Mason is there to bring him down along with Stephen Wild. Cunningham finds Graham. Graham drives it in. Great run from Graham. Wants to get on with it. He's got a penalty.
Yeah, it was interfered with. Hodgson, the full-back, certainly had fingertips inside there. Now then, interesting, will they take the two? It was a great run, wasn't it, by James Graham? He knows the responsibility on his shoulders tonight.
No, they've decided to tap it, and here is Graham. Takes the ball in to within 2 metres of the Huddersfield posts. Cunningham is scheming. Will we have a Cunningham special? Nearly.
Great defence yet again. Remember, the Giants have got one of the best defences in Super League. They know that Saints have to come up with something pretty good.
Smith, short ball, bulleted the pass as well, got it away. Soliola, he rolls all over the place, gets to his feet. Here's Pulatua, he's a giant of a man. Pulatua, but they managed to hold him back. Mason and Griffin doing the job. Cunningham again. Cunningham, and he's held up just short of the line. Sensational defence from Huddersfield. Can they hold on here for another tackle? Back it comes to Matty Smith. Good kick out wide. Looking for Melly. Cudjoe flicks it over the dead ball line. Goal line dropout coming up.
Sensational opening from the Saints. Applied the pressure. It was a break from deep within for Melly to put it through. Cudjoe equal to the task. Beautiful kick here. It was a good option, wasn't it, from Danny Brough? But the kick from Lawrence just ricocheted off the feet, and the big fella made it on. But what about the tackle from Mason? How's this for the prop forward getting back?
Sean, we've just seen Huddersfield survive on their own try line for 6th place. Does that sort of effort drain your energy or build your confidence?
I think at this particular time of the match, Phil, it just builds your confidence. You see that St Helens went 3 times from dummy half, and that's actually respect to the way that Huddersfield defend the line, because they get off very, very quick. I think Kieran Cunningham, Tony Pulatua thought they could force their way over. It was terrific defence.
This is Pulatua again. He's still going. He's such a difficult man to put down. Eventually, they do get him to ground.
Beautiful inside pass. They're throwing everything at him with the Saints.
Smith gets the ball to Wellens. He went round the back of Graham. There was a possibility there of obstruction. Cunningham waits again. Here is Matty Smith. Finds Kyle Eastman. Pops it up to Wilkin. Diagonal run from Wilkin. They managed to get him down again.
Desperation defence from... He's putting through.
Could be a try. Could be a try. This for Bryn Hargreaves.
It is, I think he gets there first. I think you'll find that the left hand shoots out just before the defender gets to him. Beautiful little trip through there by Cunningham. And I think you'll find that Bryn Hargreaves gets a hand to this.
Is he offside?
He's got it. I think he's onside, Eddie. That is a try. Malongo gets there second as far as I'm concerned. Shoulder to shoulder going the same way, so they can't go towards a man being pushed off. Malongo gets pushed, and this is confirmation. Fingertip control is efficient as far as I'm concerned. And Bryn Hargreaves surely has opened up the scoring for St Helens.
Well, if he has got this nod from the video referee Ian Smith, it'll be his first try in 17 months. And what a night to come up with your first try after such a long time. Bryn Hargreaves gets the nod. They seem to be happy we was onside. Bryn Hargreaves just concerned with the touchdown. And the touchdown was fine. It's his last game for Saints. If they lose, he's off to the Bulls next year, along with Mick Potter.
And again, it's Kieran Cunningham. They get the lucky bounce. But you just test your arm, don't you? Or on this occasion, you test the kick. You'd have to say that he's got the nod in regards to being onside, but he was quick. Quicker than David Furlango. What a time to come up with a try. So much pressure. Full credit to the Giants. They got back in numbers, but they couldn't prevent the kick going through.
Foster continues with the goal-kicking responsibilities, despite the fact that Kyle Eastman is back in the side. He's bang in front of the sticks, is Foster, and he has given St Helens a 6-point lead.
Well, it isn't easy, but Huddersfield really do need to limit the number of times that St Helens get so close to the try line. They're dangerous in so many different ways. Here's one we don't see that often, a kick through by Kieran Cunningham. Both feet from Hargreaves have to be behind the ball for him to be onside, and I think that shot clearly showed that he was.
Well, 17 months ago he scored a try. Tonight he has scored a try, and it has taken St Helens into a 6-point lead in this shootout for Old Trafford.
Amazing, isn't it? You know, Kieran Cunningham, he normally plays it very safety first in the opening 10-15 minutes of any game. Doesn't show his hand. Very rarely you'll see him run from dummy half. He's done 2 already. Defence was solid, but then comes up with a kick.
I think it just shows the value, doesn't it, in this game, if you can get a repeat set, just how much pressure you can put on a team. It doesn't matter about what time it is on the clock, as we see an error there from St Helens. But
yes,
you know,
Flannery, a real mess.
I was only going to say, Eddie, that the value of the repeat set, yes, St Helens had to kick on last play, but that meant that Huddersfield have had to make 12 tackles there without having the football in their hand, and that does create a fatigue factor at any time in a game, whether it's right at the start or clearly right at the finish.
Chance for Huddersfield to respond then. Mason takes the ball forward.
Will they do the double run around? They've already done it out there on that left-hand side, including with Brown.
Yeah, it's fine, it's fine.
They've gone to Brown, and Brown comes back this way and finds Darryl Griffin. There's a wall of white jerseys ahead of him. He took on Pulatua and Gidley. They spread it wide this time and find Robinson, who gives it to Cudjoe. Cudjoe goes around, gets the ball away to Lawrence. Flannery had moved across and was there to bring Michael Lawrence to ground. Cudjoe, Robinson. Robinson pops it up to Mason. Solid St Helens defence on show at the moment. Robinson, Danny Brough. Here now is Kevin Brown. Short ball from him to Sean Lunt. What a hit that was. And Brough with a little kick over the top, straight into the arms of Flannery. I think that massive tackle, did it come from Sia Soliola? I think it did. Huddersfield having to muscle up in defence. Oh, look at that.
Bang. That would have been felt anywhere.
Well, he's hardly played this year, Sia Soliola. That's the sort of power that St Helens have missed. He ruptured knee ligaments very early in the piece in the game against Warrington in March. Let's pull it to now.
Bit of a danger, you know, for the Giants. They're allowing St Helens to get over that advantage line with considerable ease.
It goes high off the boot of Matty Smith. Cudjoe says this is mine, claims it. Smith following up, does a very good job. Brough and Lawrence.
Been a revelation, hasn't he, Matty Smith? A wonderful fortnight ago. Control the game. They'll be looking to do exactly the same thing.
This is Kevin Brown. And now it's Darrell Griffin again. Another big hit. Hargreaves was involved in that. So too was Pulatua. Comes back to Brough, and Brough will just hunt the ball down the centre of the field. And that will skim dead. I think that was a desperation kick, really. That was just to get out of here.
Well, he ran out of choices. He had a look, and both Jamie Foster and Francis Melly had sat back, and Paul Wellens had as well. And I think Danny Brough thought, if just stood outside the 40 here, I haven't got much else to do. That's not necessarily a bad result from where he was.
No, but it was nothing on it, was there? It was definitely going where it was, and they were just going to line up on the 30-metre line and say, well, let's see if we can keep them out this time.
And it's such a wonderful ability, you know, that normally he'd just chip over the top and regather. He's that type of player. And he's got to be putting himself about. He's got to be the individual. He's got to be the star if Huddersfield are going to have any chance tonight.
Well, can they claim the victory here at Knowsley Road to get to Old Trafford? The first victory since 1978 on this ground Huddersfield is seeking. Again off the boot of Smith, it goes high. They're testing Cudjoe here, and Cudjoe has dropped it.
It was always on, Eddie. Mick Potter obviously feels that the speedster, and boy, he has got some pace, this fella. But they would have been looking at the videos and they would have been saying this guy is a little bit dodgy under the high bomb. And the look on the coach's face, Nathan Brown, says it all. And he can expect some more of this throughout this game.
Well, that was a big error, and it might turn into a mighty error if Saints get over the line here. This is Flannery. Cunningham is the dummy half. Graham will drive it in.
Got through a lot of work already as Graham. He knows it's responsible to get over that advantage line.
Cunningham gets the ball away. Hargreaves! It's a second try for Bryn Hargreaves! Well, you wait 17 months for one, and then you get two in about 7 minutes. Glum faces on the Huddersfield terrace. Bryn Hargreaves. Last try, April 2009 against Castleford before tonight. And Bryn Hargreaves has given St Helens a dream start. They're about to lead 12-0 with the kick to come.
This is the error from Cudjoe. Not really the best. You can see he never lifted his body up, and from it there. Beautiful quick pass. That was poor defence. Nathan Brown, he prides himself on making sure that all his sides are very solid at defence, but you could see there that the prop forward, Bryn Hargreaves, he just twisted out of it. Poor attempt, no one went for the legs. And as Eddie said, just like buses, they came along very quickly. He knows he's under pressure, he needs the ball.
Well, Bryn Hargreaves is on a hat-trick now, and he's already got one to his name. For St Helens against Bradford in 2008. Foster now makes it 12-0.
Eddie, don't underestimate the skill of Bryn Hargreaves there with that try. He ran an angle where he got lumped on an inside shoulder tackle, but he had that ability to what we call a hit and spin in the game. And it's a very, very good skill. If a front row, anyone can use it. You watch here. He goes in and he hits and spins and turns away, and it's a difficult person to control sometimes because you go in with power and you twist and you break the tackle, and Sean Lunt would be disappointed with the technique he's used, but I don't think we should underestimate how well Bryn Hargreaves did there.
Yeah, he's a big guy, that is for sure. He's a very, very heavy unit, but Nathan Brown, we're looking at the fact, was anybody going down for the legs? The answer was no.
What a magnificent 7 victories in a row brought Huddersfield to this game, to within 80 minutes of Old Trafford. They are the chosen ones, of course. This last ever competitive game at Knowsley Road, Huddersfield were the chosen opposition after the club call on Sunday. But Saints are also in pretty fine form as well in the Super League. They have also won 7 in a row, but they did lose that cup semi-final to Leeds in August. The last reversing Super League here against Catalan Dragons in July.
Well, Cunningham, lovely run from dummy half. Trouble is, had the ball taken away from him. Bounced away. Did he lose control? Yes, according to Phil Bentham, the referee. Missed an opportunity to get a good kick and chase, and probably would have only gone for offside. Crowd don't like it.
That's exactly what Huddersfield needed, that penalty. The ball steal and the penalty. Manna from heaven for the Huddersfield Giants.
They were 4 to 5, had gone early. And if you run very close to the referee, you're going to be pinned.
Griffin then will drive it in for Huddersfield. Good run from him.
They need a break just to lift their confidence now, the Giants.
Mason might provide it.
Big run. Big hit.
Straight into the chest of Graham now. Robinson scheming, fires the pass to Brown, who'll come back this way. He almost got past Pulatua. Another penalty. Interference at the play the ball, and Paul Wellens believes he died.
Not ready. Just trying to get a little bit too smart there to the Giants, but they've got the ability out there. In a couple of steps, inside passes from the standoff. Kevin Brown is all quality.
Robinson. Here is Griffin. St Helens hold him up short. Just a metre. Robinson gets it away and finds Brown again. He goes wide, and it's Gilmore. And Gilmore nearly pushed away to the sideline. Another penalty for offside. 3 in a row for the Giants. Matt Gidley, the man picked out by the referee. So Robinson goes back a metre or two.
Smart move as well, giving a little bit extra room to move.
Here they come again then with Brown. Finds Mason once more, formerly with St Helens, of course. Keith Mason, 63 appearances here in 3 years. Now Robinson to Wild. There are 3 there to deal with him. Hargreaves was one of them. Robinson fires a long pass to Brown again. Short ball then to Falongo. Good defence. Gidley and Soliola.
You talk about getting the defence organised. That was superb. Not one person came out of the line. Did well, Brown, to take that.
He did. He had to stretch. Here is Wild. Got the try last week that got Huddersfield on the way to victory against Warrington.
Keep your eye on Brett Hodgson.
Brown back on the inside. Mason using the big men to try and drive a hole through the Saints defence up the middle. Last tackle here for Huddersfield Giants. Robinson, short ball.
Great defence.
Fantastic defence against Darryl Griffin.
Sia Soliola went low. Did exactly the thing that Huddersfield failed to do. Look at that. He got his body into the legs. Griffin was going nowhere. Pretty important now that the Giants don't get over enthusiastic and give away a penalty.
Well, Huddersfield lost to St Helens in the Challenge Cup final of 2006 at Twickenham against the Saints, 42-12. But Huddersfield did beat the Saints in the Challenge Cup semi-final last year. Inspiration there, I wonder. They're going to come from behind now, 12-0, 2 converted tries. Matty Smith goes for a 40-20, just didn't quite get the angle right. It sits up nicely for Brett Hodgson. Oh, hello, Soliola.
That's good refereeing. Phil Bentham, he could have given a penalty there, but it let the game go. They wanted to play the ball quickly to the Giants, and they got away with it.
Tell you what, Soliola has not been around for much this season, but he's making his mark on these playoffs.
He's on a mission. He is on a mission. Interesting to note as well that he's not playing in the centres. He's actually playing as a right side second row, and Chris Flannery has come across and played left centre. So a slight change to the program where you all thought Soliola would go to the centres when they made the change with Adi Gardner.
With defence like that, you want him in the middle, don't you?
Bruff dinks the ball off the outside of the boot. Oh, it's a knock-on, and he can't touch it. Oh, and why on earth? I tell you what, Paul Wellens could not touch that because he would have been offside. But why on earth would the Huddersfield man come in and fly hack it forward? Or is it a possible try?
Went back off Saints. No, went back.
Well, it's obviously been
It went backwards off St Helens, but how can it go backwards and come back into the field of play?
Unless it went off the post, if
Yeah,
it's ricocheted off the bottom of the post.
You know, Jamie Foster's positioning to read the play was excellent. Then under pressure here with an awkward bounce.
That's a knock-on for all money.
Well, I think what they've deemed is that Foster has knocked the ball backwards and the ball has hit the post and gone forward. That's the only explanation.
I think
Here it is. It has gone backwards. They've got it right, Eddie. He could have picked it up, Wellens, but he got away from it, and then Brown just fly-kicked it.
I was going to say, Wellens didn't think it had gone backwards. Wilkin with the kick down the line. Good kick too.
Well, I've never seen a 20-metre restart taken so quick. I think St Helens were delighted to restart that play, so the ref couldn't change his mind there. I think they've got away with one.
This is a good kick from Wilkin, just turning Huddersfield around, putting them within 10 metres of their own line to restart.
Heads in, fellas.
Well, it wasn't the best suggestion, was it, by Kevin Brown? He had the opportunity there, but at least it'll lift the spirit slightly, the Giants. They put the kick in, created a bit of confusion there.
Well, Huddersfield now having to work the ball from deep inside their own half. Robinson scampers forward. Luke Robinson's on a bad little run. Brett Hodgson gets the ball away. Here's David Fayumu. And another penalty against St Helens for offside. That's the fourth in quick succession. I think the referee might have a word here with well, Paul Wellens it'll be. Kieran Cunningham's off the field, and Nick Potter a bit disconcerted.
He's got several penalties on the offside. Okay, it's generally Matt Gidley, so you need to speak to him, okay.
Well, he's got it right as the official, Phil Bentham, because Gidley, it's an old ploy that he's used for many, many years. He comes in on the angle very quickly, hopes that he doesn't get seen out of the corner of the official's eye, but boy, he's on the ball, Bentham, tonight.
Getting a good call from over on that far side from his touch judge. Just looking across, that's James Child, I think, isn't it, on that far side, the man who is a Super League referee himself. This is Robinson now for Huddersfield. Short ball for Longo. Robinson, Crabtree's on. There was an almighty collision off the ball there between Crabtree and the Saints player. Was it Roby? They're in here. It is Sean Lunt. Sean Lunt with the Huddersfield try. He missed the tackle for the second try from Bryn Hargreaves up the other end not too long ago, but Sean Lunt has just breathed life into the Huddersfield Giants challenge here.
Well, they've been playing down that left-hand side. They had the confidence on it, and the second row, Sean Lunt, certainly popped up with an absolutely belted of a try.
And once upon a time, this fellow was a former St Helens Academy player, Sean Lunt. And he's come back here on his 49th appearance, hoping that that try will spur them on, so as he can make his 50th appearance at Old Trafford next week.
And there's Gidley realising it. I can't believe that it was me, sir, but the Australian centres do that a lot. But this is very poor defence on that part. Bryn Hargreaves, the hero, several moments ago, but didn't fill in. That's the first time that there's been confusion within the St Helens defence, and that has really lifted him. It's funny, you know, you just get that penalty, gets you another 30 metres downfield, gives you the opportunity. This is a pressure kick.
It is, and it's a man who normally comes up with the goods on pressure kicks, Brett Hodgson. And he's come up with the goods again here tonight. That's a sensational kick. It's 12-6 suddenly. Huddersfield are back in the game.
There you see the man who just circled Hargreaves, failed to fill in, should have gone in. It was a simple try by this man, but simple or not, it is so important.
And I think Brett Hodgson might get some kick from that side of the field, because if you look at where they're most likely to score the tries, it's wide on the left for Huddersfield. They're repeatedly running at Soliola. and to Matt Gidley, and at Matthew Smith as well. I think that's the player, that's the side of the field they want to target.
Crabtree driving the ball forward. He was almost not the man to take that kick-off. He got it by default almost. Ayumu gets it wide to Gilmore.
Boy,
Mentioning Sean Lunt as a former St Helens junior, there's a former St Helens star, Lee Gilmore. Said farewell to this club at Old Trafford last year.
Just saying, Eddie, that that try really has lifted this game now. It's going to be a real big battle.
Robinson, and here's Danny Brough. He's
third.
gone for a 40-20 here. Wellens does well, make sure it wasn't going anywhere near the whitewash. Good chase, though.
Great kick, though, wasn't it, Danny Brough? Equal to the task, though, as Wellens. Crowd here don't like the fact that the Giants are coming up quickly. Is that being touched? Is it back? It's no play on, according to the official.
Well, Nathan Brown said after last week's game at Warrington that all of us pommies worry about home advantage, just a piece of grass, same shaped ball, same shaped sticks. Well, this crowd underneath us here shout forward for every pass that strays slightly forward against the opposition. That's why home advantage is important.
You know what is interesting, Eddie? We've been playing almost for 25 minutes, and I can't remember Kyle Eastman having an involvement, running with the ball, being clearly involved, but he's one of those players that at some point in the course of 80 minutes, he'll do something that you'll never forget going away from this ground. And I think that's the focus as well for Huddersfield. Eventually, they'll have to have a close eye on him, although he's waiting very patiently before he introduces himself tonight.
Well, he's had only one run, Phil, and I made the point before the kickoff, you know, have they made a big gamble with him? He's such a talent, we know that. But is he 100%?
This is good stuff from the Giants. They're keeping this ball alive. Hodgson gets it away to Gilmore. Gilmore intent, he said, on spoiling this party. Another good offload from him to Robinson. Robinson nearly jinked his way through.
Super play.
Clough did well to bring him down. Fourth tackle here with Brough. Brough to Falongo. And Falongo thought about the offload and he couldn't get it away under pressure from Flannery and Roby. Here's Robinson, they're going down that left side again. And Brough's kick, oh! The knock-on, the first knock-on he's called, I think, against St Helens. He has, it's a head and feet coming up to Huddersfield.
Yeah, it is. Gidley has a rush for it, but I tell you what, he did well, Gidley. Even though he's touched the ball, he made sure that Brown, and did he take him off? Did he take him out before he touched the ball? It was a smart piece of movement by this fella, Matt Gidley.
He's lost 3 grand finals in a row in the Super League, Matt Gidley. He won the NRL grand final with Newcastle against Parramatta way back in 2001. Here now is Brown, he pops it up to Earl Crabtree. Big hero, Big Earl, around the Galf arm. And it's Brough now to Robinson. They're looking busy, the Giants.
And they're full of confidence as well. They've got dummy runners, they're working hard for each other.
Brough again. Here's Crabtree, trying to use his strength to outmuscle Wilkin and co. They get him down on tackle number 3.
They've done well to make sure that they don't have a quick play the ball.
Brough to Brown. Brown goes the other way. Kevin Brown. Testing Hargreaves. Getting to within about a metre of the line. Brough is there. Will he try and pinch one from dummy half? No, he won't. Fires the pass to Robinson. Here is Lawrence. He's in. Huddersfield are in for their second try. And the game is swinging back the Giants' way. It was drifting away from them at 12-0. It's now 12-10, and the kick to come. And Michael Lawrence, he was really unlucky to miss out last year's Wembley final. Keener than most to play and get to Old Trafford.
Brough put the kick in there. Gidley, and Gidley did well here. Look, he really pushed Brown. That could have been a penalty. Either way, switch onto that short blind side. What a beautiful pass by Brett Hodgson. Just caught Melly out. Just half a metre, it was sufficient. Melly knew that he'd gone in when he should have stayed man on man, and Lawrence, he celebrates, and so does this man, Nathan Brown. He's not the cool customer when it comes to celebration. He's waiting, just a few seconds after that. Bill Bentham says that's the try, and as Eddie mentioned, the Giants are back into it.
Michael Lawrence with the try then, and if Brett Hodgson kicks this one off the touchline, the scores are level here at Knowsley Road, and the atmosphere has just gone a little bit quieter than it was, say, 10 minutes ago. Hodgson kicked one off the other touchline a few minutes ago. Can he add the extras here? Warrington haven't only secured the services of a great full-back next year, they've secured the services of a wonderful kicker. 12-all at Knowsley Road.
I don't know how you're good with the mathematics, but when you've got 5 players there, that means you're going to have someone that's out of position. And his name was Melly, and Lawrence has taken full advantage. Sensational try. This is turning out into a real classic.
2 tries in 6 minutes for Saints. Response from Huddersfield, 2 tries in 5. Game on, 28 minutes gone, 12 apiece. All that we expected of this game, all that we expected of the challenge that Huddersfield will throw down at this last match at Knowsley Road for St Helens. Trying to take the emotion out of the occasion, trying to suck it out if they possibly can.
You know, if they want to win here tonight, they need more than 50% of the possession. The majority of the ball has to be in their hands, and it has been, you know, now as we approach the half-an-hour mark. Whilst ever that continues, Huddersfield are growing in confidence. Nice offload there, keeping the ball alive.
Yes, they're making hay with these offloads. That was Brown. Here is Crabtree, ponytail bouncing as he picked that ball up. Gets them to halfway on the 3rd tackle. Robinson. Brett Hodgson. Oh, it's a difficult kick that for Wellens. Look at the chase.
Yeah, they're buoyed now, aren't they? They really are up for it.
Here's Roby.
And as Phil has mentioned, it's all about the possession and keeping that good position on the field. Oh, that's a big error.
Yes, they've come up with the error. Melly has, and this is Robinson.
Really, they didn't need that, Eddie. At a time when they've had little possession, you don't start offloading smart little passes when you're in your own danger area. And they could pay the price there. That was stupid play.
Robinson inside the 20, waits to give it to Crabtree. Crabtree will drive it forward. Gets them to within about 10 metres of the St Helens line. Goes down on the 10. Robinson waits again, dummy half. Fayumu is there, he takes it first receiver. Fayumu tries to step his way through. Robinson again, marshalling the troops from dummy half. Comes this way, short pass to Brett Hodgson. Now it's Danny Brough. Danny Brough! Very close again, they're threatening the St Helens line. Brough wants to get up and play it quickly. That was Cudjoe. Whoa, and that's a wasted pass, they've lost momentum. Brett Hodgson. Last tackle, they've gone from the try line to the 20-metre line.
Danny Brough wants it, he's got it.
And the kick over the top for Kermon to chase, putting Foster under pressure, but the young Jamie Foster comes up with the goods.
Great little chip over, great play by young Foster, put himself in a good position. The crowd are doing the damnedest to try to get a penalty for their side.
And that's what I mean about the home crowd and the home advantage. I'm not saying the referees and the touch judges respond to pressure like this, but the pressure's on them.
Tut. Never even suggested.
Never in your wildest dreams.
As I said, tut.
That's Roby. He's gone for a 40-20, Roby, and it's plucked out of the air by Brett Hodgson.
What a wonderful take. Great kick too. This game's got everything. It's getting tough out there as well. And another good offload. They're not frightened to get that support play working.
But you need to be risk takers if you want to come here and win, particularly in a playoff game. And the Giants are that. They've got several players who'll take a chance. I mean, at some point in this game, if necessary, they'll go for a short kick-off. They did the last time they played here on several occasions. They'll chance their arm here, Eddie. I think that's the nature of the coach and several of the players.
And Phil, interesting to note that a lot of the offloads from Huddersfield are when St Helens are retreating. And that's the toughest type of offload to defend. When you've actually started going back and it's an offload that comes out quite late, it just buys you a lot of time and a lot of space, and it gives some of their ball players great opportunities.
Well, are they going to make it to Old Trafford from 5th in the table, Huddersfield Giants.
We haven't seen a bomb from the Giants yet. I think we might get one.
This is their 6th playoff game. There's the first bomb. Steve-O has just called, and it's a tester for Melly. Oh, nobody was interested. And the ball bounces, as it turns out.
Oh, how lucky was that?
Harmlessly over the sideline. Just going to say, 6th playoff game tonight. Until 2 weeks ago, Huddersfield hadn't won one.
Well, that was amazing. Melly just did not want to know. And Nathan Brown would have taken notice of that. It's the same in the other way. Remember, St Helens, who were applying the pressure to the winger Leroy Cudjoe. He came up with the error, and Melly was very fortunate there.
Leeds Wigan, Saturday Night Live, HD2, 5 o'clock. Another barnstorming match coming up there. Of course, Wigan, along with the Bradford Bulls, the only teams to make it to Old Trafford from outside of the top 2 since the playoffs were introduced. Can Huddersfield in 5th and Leeds in 4th make it the grand final that none of us thought was possible a wee while ago?
Beautiful hit by Matty Smith. You could see the ball. Absolutely. Oh, he's lost it. He's knocked on. The officials haven't seen it. There's definitely a knock on there.
Matty Smith saw it.
Fair play to Phil Bentham. He had a look at it. But you'll see Hudson has lost that ball.
I think this crowd saw it as well. They're starting to find their voices again. Here goes Crabtree.
Been a great effort, you know, from the Giants. They were down 12-0. They dug deep, did everything right. And again,
20 attempt here. This from Danny Brough. If it gets the right bounce, it doesn't. It was a poor angle, really, but it has at least taken St Helens back deep in their own half. And
That's got to be
following up.
Stephen Wiley was with a high take down. Well, he'll get no raps on the back for his coach Nathan Brown, because that was a great kick. This is the knock-on from Hodgson. Watch this. See how he loses it and get it tipped back. Difficult for the officials, easy for us when we've got the great camera work, but that could have been a turning point.
Well, justice has seen to be done with the penalty award.
And you sense a 5-minute surge here from St Helens, which we've experienced so many times in the past year. I think the crowd lift the noise, they expect the players to lift the pace and intensity, and very often it provides them with more points. Biggest test now for the Giants.
That's Jake Emmett, plays the ball to Roby. That was Matty Smith, and now Kyle Eastman. Can he implode here, or explode?
Well, we're coming up to the 35th minute, and that's the only second time that Kyle Eastman has actually taken on the defence. Great tackle by Crabtree there.
Was on James Graham. Roby gets the ball away. Great hands! Wellens! Wellens for St Helens!
Superb.
Just before half-time again. They are the past masters of this. And Paul Wellens, a try against Warrington 2 weeks ago here. That was his first ever playoff try. 7 grand finals for this fellow. He wants number 8. And Paul Wellens has just nudged the Saints ahead as we approach half-time.
Outstanding. Back on the inside. How on earth has he kept hold of that ball? I don't know whether he's ever played basketball. Here's a high shot from Wild. It was Wild. It got them 45 metres upfield. And this was the switch. Then back on the inside. Look at this. How on earth does he control that ball? As I say, he must have played basketball as a youngster, this boy.
Well, he's made it to the dream team at full-back for the 4th time in 2010. I just wonder whether he will be in the England squad that heads off down under at the end of the domestic season this year.
Well, I'm not sure, but I do know that we get movies on demand on Sky. They almost get tries on demand here at Knowsley Road. The crowd, I don't know what, they just know half-time's coming. We're under a bit of pressure here, 12-all. This isn't as comfortable as we want to be when we go for a drink break. We want more try, and Wellens and the players can respond.
And Foster adds the extra points. It's 18-12 to St Helens, and about 3.5 dangerous minutes remaining for Huddersfield in this first half.
Here's the break. inside pass, lovely little intricate play there, and Sean Wellens showing that he has the ability to provide that points there now. The other thing you've got to watch when you play St Helens is the double hit edit, try on try. The next 6 tackles here have to be very good.
Yeah, that's what I say, a very dangerous 3.5 minutes coming up here for the Giants and their Old Trafford ambition. Kick off from Brough is picked up by Eastman, he gives it to Graham. They have to, if they can, try and pen St Helens deep in their own territory. But St Helens have got threats all over the field. Melly here. Roby. Clough will drive it forward again for St Helens. Roby. Scampering little run. Thought about the offload. Wellens was there, but thought better of it under all that pressure. Well, on halfway, though.
I don't think they'll be kicking early on this one. They're running straight through. They realise that they've got to get to the last, and this will surely they'll go to put the ball out and play.
Eastman, Wellens, Melly. Melly, the flag has gone up. The foot was over the whitewash. It's the turnover.
Well, that was an amazing decision to try to keep this ball alive. Yeah, that it is. Well spotted. Good play by the touch judge.
Cudjoe then for Huddersfield. A couple of minutes to half-time. No mistakes from Huddersfield. Can they pierce this St Helens defence? This is Larne Patrick.
Look at the position that Paul Wellens has put himself in. He realises that there could be a chip over the top, and he's got the ricochet. Oh, well, sorry, Eastman didn't want to go for that.
There's a penalty here, I think.
Swing, missed it.
Kyle Eastman with a swing that he missed with. It was played at, says the referee, because it came off the arms of Wellens.
Well, total confusion between Melly and Eastman there, and it was a swinging arm, no doubt about it. Silly play.
Penalised for intent there, Eastman. I missed him, he said to the referee, and the referee said, good job you did.
Yeah. Could have been more than a penalty.
Robinson.
Now this is where Danny Brough really has to start taking control, but Brown's got it.
And now it's with Gilmore. Suddenly it's St Helens who are under the cosh. Hodgson. Brown. Kevin Brown. That's the third tackle. They're 10 metres away. It's with Robinson. And Robinson gives it to Brough. Brough then to Cudjoe. And Cudjoe shrugs off a couple. Gets it away to Brett Hodgson. Good defence from St Helens. They scrambled back in numbers. Robinson. The pass was poor again, but Brough made it good. Here is Brown. And there's a chance for Gilmore over there. And St Helens come in and pull him down.
They've got to go for the kick. There's only seconds remaining.
It's with Brown. Back it comes to Brough. He weighs up the options. Gets the kick in wide to Lawrence again. Down the line from Lawrence. Oh, what a try! What a try from Michael Lawrence!
Sensational!
Outstanding second try for Michael Lawrence. But what about the kick from Danny Brough? He did that earlier. He found Michael Lawrence with the cross-field kick, and it didn't come off then. But boy, has it come off here. And Michael Lawrence, that's as good a try as you'll see in these playoffs. Outstanding from the 20-year-old. Second try of the half. Wow.
Unbelievable. Shows you what giving away the penalty has allowed the Giants to get back into this game. Super stuff. Oh, that was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. They don't come much better than that. You talk about the way that Saints, they can get you just before the half-time break. What about this kick here? He was in two minds. Melly knew that he had to stay back. Remember, he got caught out before, but that is a piece of genius from that man.
And what a time to come up with your first two-try effort of the season in the eliminating semi-final that will take you through to Old Trafford or mean the end of your season. Michael Lawrence, and who would back against Hodgson, squaring things up at half-time. Well, he's kicked goals from each touchline so far. One from the left, one from the right. This is the second attempt from this side in front of these vociferous fans. He's kicked it, has he? Ooh, just went in front of the post. That's half-time. St Helens 18, Huddersfield 16. They were 12-0 down. They've come back with tries from Lunt and Lawrence to make it 12 apiece. Wellens with the try just before half-time. And who's going to get to the Super League Grand Final here? Saints 18, Huddersfield 16 at half-time. 3 tries each. Foster with just the 1 extra goal. That's the difference between the two sides as we prepare to get the second half underway.
It's going to be an interesting opening 10 minutes, isn't it? And I just keep thinking to myself, if it's going to go the Saints' way, I reckon that Mick Potter has at some time to get out Kieran Cunningham out on that field and for him to stay out there to guide them through. They look a better side when he's there, and they need something more from this guy that's just offloaded, Kyle Eastman.
Graham will drive it forward from the pass from Eastman. He's played only 3 of the last 9, Kyle Eastman. He got a try and 4 goals in a 24-6 win at Huddersfield in March. And of course, he's the man who got all the 10 points for Saints in last year's grand final. I suppose if it is a gamble, it is worth taking the risk with a player like Eastman. He is certainly a will-o'-the-wisp. He's a man who can play off the cuff. You never know, he just might have a telling contribution to make in this game. Here he is again. The kick, though, is not good. Straight at Brett Hodgson.
Well, that won't help his confidence. The one stat that really stood out for me is that, you know, Saints offloads in the tackle, 0. Don't normally get that. How many do we get from the Giants in that first 40? 10. Shows you that they are quite happy to keep this ball alive.
And when they started throwing the ball around, Huddersfield looked really, really good.
Yep.
Well, they did when they beat Wigan at the DW Stadium as well. You remember they beat them with width. Good passing players got on the outside of Wigan, as we're seeing right here.
Brown will go up the middle, though, this time, trying to go between Emmett and Dixon. Tackle is confirmed, standing up. Hodgson gets the ball wide and finds Gilmore. He tries to step through Matty Smith. Good job Gidley was there. Last tackle here for Huddersfield. Brown, ooh, it's a wasted one, but didn't Bruff do well and pick that up. Here is Cudjoe again. Cudjoe down the line for Lawrence to chase. Wellens to the rescue.
Great build-up by the Giants. And they know that when they get the ball through, they can put the kick in because the chase is so exuberant.
Look at them now, Huddersfield. They really sniff something here. Saints 5 metres away from their own line. Melly, nowhere to go. Larm Patrick in there quickly. So too Darryl Griffin. There is Roby. That's a good relieving run from Jake Emmett.
Got to make sure no high shots. Don't give away that vital penalty. That's good defence yet again.
Last tackle here for St Helens, only 21 metres gained forward. More metres gained here off the boot of Matty Smith. Hodgson, though, he dropped the ball, but he was facing his own posts.
It's a damn fine chase as well.
Not a bad run, and he gets the ball away. Let's go down to the sideline. What would St Helens give to have Leon Price out there tonight? Well, he's alongside Bill.
Yeah, Eddie, Leon's still recovering from that shoulder problem and just had surgery, haven't you?
Yeah, I just had surgery last week, so just on the road to recovery.
And this isn't an easy game to watch, is it? There's a real sort of air of anxiety around the Saints camp at the moment.
No, it shouldn't be. Well, it's the semi-final, so it's going to be really tense and nerve-wracking. Huddersfield are in great form and a really good team, and they played very, very well against Warrington last week, so it was always going to be a tight and nervy game. And
the way they've come back from being 12-0 down has made it even a bit more anxious, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that's the semi-final. It's semi-final football, and it's going to go right down to the wire. So it's going to be really exciting. It's going to be a really exciting finish, I think.
Not an easy game to miss, I'd imagine.
Not really, no. I'd much rather be out there, but the boys are doing well, and let's hopefully we can give this crowd something to cheer.
Leon, wish you all the best and good luck with the rehab.
Cheers, Bill. Thank you.
Leon Price, a man with a record 9 grand finals under his belt, but he won't be playing in number 10 this year, even if Saints get there next Saturday.
What a hit it was from Larn Patrick there. They really are muscling up for the Giants.
Patrick again, but he couldn't prevent the offload. It's to Wellens, who just slipped. There's the grand final. Number there, website there. Any information you need, there are the places. Last tackle.
It's got to be a better kick.
Smith gives it wide to Gidley. Gidley just puts it inside. Hodgson finds touch.
Back to
Lots
basics.
of experience there.
Yeah, back to basics, Eddie, and that's he knows it. He's been around long enough. Say, hey, look, we'll try to force the error. We're capable of it. We've got the good hits. But he's the key.
Great start, lads.
Has been for so many years at this club. When will he be launched by his coach, Mick Potter? They really do lift to the Saints as soon as he trots out.
Well, you can just ask Warrington about that. You can just ask Castleford about that. Remember the last-minute try he got here on this ground against the Tigers that took them second in the table. Here's a penalty for offside against St Helens again. Down to Bill.
Eddie, blow for Saints because Kyle Eastman has just left the field and he's just gone straight past me down the tunnel, and he was on his knees in the tunnel, I think in despair and dejection. And obviously this hip injury problem that he's had, he was out with, he's come back. Maybe have they gambled? Has he come back too soon? Because he looked heartbroken as he went down the tunnel.
Well, he might know that his grand final dream is over. He might know that his selection for the tour is over as well. They were in two minds. I know Mick Potter was wrestling with the problem overnight, whether to bring him back. Anyway, they have done, and well, we'll have to wait and see. But is that a blow for Steve McNamara as well, the England coach? Gilmore, meanwhile, dumped to the ground by Matty Smith, who now, if Saints are to get to the grand final, obviously has a pivotal role to play. This is Brown. They've given it away. Brough puts it down.
Oh, I had a golden opportunity as well. I could see what he was trying to do. He was going to kick on the ball towards the post. It didn't come off.
This is Melly. Great ball from Melly. They're keeping it alive, St Helens. Oh, Matty Smith has lost it now. Well, they're playing with a bit of abandon, and here's another penalty. Hand into the play the ball. The referee's caning Saints. 7 penalties to Huddersfield, just 2 to St Helens.
And that just adds to frustration. Well, Soliola really just, to me, didn't make any attempt to interfere either way. Seen the opposition.
He had his
Quite
hand
happy.
on the arm,
On the
though,
ball,
didn't he?
yeah, so a 50-50 call, but you just get the feeling, you know, that these Giants, they are feeling very confident. Some of their play is outstanding.
Patrick with the first drive in.
Kevin Brown is controlling things out there.
Here's Darryl Griffin. Well, that was a grapple tackle from James Graham. This is Robinson. Here's the pass now to Brown. Brown waiting for the runners, and that's Danny Kermond. Incredible, he's been on loan at Wakefield, and here he is. Just over half an hour away from the grand final if they win. That's Lon Patrick again. It's good St Helens defence on their own line. That's 4 tackles gone, 2 remaining. Robinson waiting and plotting at dummy half. Will come this way and find Brown. Brown pops it up, does he? No, goes himself. Thought about giving it to Kermond, took the last tackle himself. Brett Hodgson stabs it in. It could be a try here for Gilmore. Has Lee Gilmore come back and haunted Saints?
He has. I think this will be given. He's onside. He's definitely onside here from the angle. Yep, that's fine. Beautiful play by the fullback and skipper Brett Hodgson, and this will be confirmed as a try. They have taken the lead of the Giants. No doubt in my mind. What say you, Ian Smith, the video referee tonight? I don't think there's a knock on there. I think he's got full control. This will be TRY, and it will absolutely stun the majority of people here. I think that's okay.
Well, he's a former Saints favourite. 12 playoff appearances for the Saints. A try here in June in the Super League weekly round. They're holding their breath, and Ian Smith gives him the try. And Lee Gilmore, his farewell appearance for Saints at Old Trafford last October, his 7th grand final, with 3 clubs. Is he going to get there with a 4th in 2010? Gilmour has just nudged Huddersfield Giants ahead.
And you just felt that it was building, wasn't it? The control they tried to. Didn't have one offload in that first 40 minutes. They put together their 4 until the very last, and then it came about. Messing around, got the penalty, and from this, the little kick through. Brilliant work. The combination, nothing short of superb. He knew what was going on.
Lee Gilmour's try. Brett Hodgson now with the chance to add the extra 2. It's 20 points to 18. This for a 4-point lead. Hodgson. And he's drifted it over the bar. Great kick again from Hodgson. Huddersfield ahead at Knowsley Road, where they haven't won since 1978. Certain players have won on this ground, though, and there's one of them, with another club in other colours.
Super way, the little chink through, the little kick. He knew exactly what the fullback was doing. We said it would stun the crowd. It has. They've gone for a high one. Could be dodgy. Oh, well taken.
Oh, and is this a blow here for Huddersfield? Because that's Brett Hodgson, who's down and injured in the collision. So is David Hodgson. The call must have been Hodgson's. But who made the call? David Hodgson got it. Oh, and then he's clattered.
Yeah.
Is it Soliola who hit Brett Hodgson?
Was it a stray knee? Either way, you're right.
A total accident, though, I think.
Yeah, no one seemed to know who was calling for it. And he did well, didn't he? David Hodgson to take that. That'd have been a stray elbow, actually. Oh, yeah, it was.
I used a term a few weeks ago, Eddie. I called it incidental contact, and that's a prime example of it. Sia Soliola has to play for the ball, and if he doesn't play for the ball, he's got to make the tackle. And it's just one of those things that happens in the game. There's nothing untoward in that whatsoever.
Well, we see it in the slow motion, and yeah, the muscle got to him, and boy, and that is a big bicep.
Well, Huddersfield ahead by 4 points, and 9.5 minutes of this second half gone. Steve-O, you know what I'm like with texts, and I've had a text this week. I had a text from Nathan Brown, and he said, "Don't go tipping us, not after last week." You wouldn't tip against them at the minute, would you?
No, and he's been very, very cool, and the way that they just reorganised themselves. Okay, they were stunned. 2 quick tries, 12 points down, and you needed to get something organised, and this man is organising him. The combination, the 2 halfbacks, Danny Brough in his kicking game, and Kevin Brown, and that's silly play. At a time when you're 4 points in front, good kick and change, and Cameron has given away at least 30 or 40 metres, and you can't afford to do that for Saints, especially when they're in a bit of a hole.
Listen to this crowd here. They have cheered that penalty, only the 3rd that Saints have got in this match, to the rafters, and that's the pressure the referees are under that we were talking about, or I was talking about, in the first half.
To be
Here
fair,
they go, they found their voice.
To be fair, though, Eddie, Phil Benton's had a good game.
But 10 years ago, Eddie, I think things like that did used to influence referees, but now that they are full-time and they're more aware of things like that, I don't think it is as factor as much. I think the referees are conscious of making the right decision and taking the emotion out of the situation, which is hard. As St Helens now keep the ball alive. Big Tony Pullatua back on the field. He's lost it in a one-on-one steal.
With Kevin Brown.
Just took it away from him. Thank you very much indeed.
I know what you're saying, Phil, about the pressure, but when Warrington built their new ground, I know for a fact that they decided as a club to put the terracing underneath our gantry just the same as it is here, because every time the ball drifts slightly forward, there's a huge scream comes up from the standing terrace. It's only natural. Supporters shout for everything.
Well, I'd be very worried if I was a St Helens supporter at the moment, because my side haven't played well for over 10 or 15 minutes, and Huddersfield look in fantastic form, mentally and physically. Look at the players all moving up, the pressure here under Wellens.
Doesn't he take it well, though? Took it almost on all fours. I think I can see the shape of Kieran Cunningham on the far side.
He needs him. Mick Potter, surely, what a take this is under pressure.
I know there's talk of Gareth Widdop for England, but Wellens has been in sensational form this year. I know he's not as quick as he used to be, but he's been in magnificent form. He's in the dream team at the full-back.
Yeah, and he's solid, isn't he, in defence? That is the one thing that you do need, but this is the man. We keep saying it. Can he do it yet again? What's this St Helens side lift now that he jumped into the dummy half position?
His first touch was to give Wilkin the ball, and then this is a kick from Matty Smith. Hodgson, Brett Hodgson, that is, safe as houses up the other end. Great work from Cunningham. The crowd lift anyway when he comes on.
Everybody does it, connected with St Helens. Look at that.
What are they going to do without him? They're going to wheel the bronze statue onto the touchline next year at Widnes.
Well, he couldn't do any more damage than what he does out there on the field, that's for sure.
Gilmore running flat. Brought down by Soliola. Last tackle, still inside their own half, Huddersfield. Kick has to be good from Brown. Straight to Foster.
Well, I think that was a mix-up with the Giants camp. That really should not have gone to Brown. He's not the recognised kicker. He took it well on the fall. Well, the crowd feel as though they've been justified. And listen to it, you'd think that St Helens had scored a try. But there's no doubt in the mind of the official. There was 2 or 3 Giants had moved off the line.
Graham will drive it in for Saints. Cunningham is there 8 metres away. Pops it up to Roby.
2. Move.
They're inching ever closer. Cunningham.
Through the dummy, good work by Mason and Gilmore. He had to be as well. Smothered the ball.
Roby once more. The pass finds Matty Smith. He comes back this way. Pulatua. Such a danger, Pulatua, at that range.
Trouble is, Pulatua has got that ball standing still. He should have stood back a little bit further.
Cunningham. Matty Smith. Here is Wellens. Raw, what a ball round the corner for Flannery.
Move.
Last tackle here for Saints. Roby to the in-goal area. Try for Wellens, is it?
He's done it again! Wellens has come up with the vital try! They can't keep this man down, can they? He knows he's got a hand to it. Play the ball's okay. Roby with the dink.
No, he can do much with the
It was Hodgson that did it at the other end. They're all onside. Ian Smith has to check it, but that's A-OK. They'll go for the grounding, and I think you'll all agree, if you're a Saint fan, that is Mr. Wellens' hand, and he has tied it all up. What a game!
Another outstanding lunge here from Paul Wellens to beat Brett Hodgson. It's his second try. We await the green light from the video referee. But Paul Wellens has just squared it up, I think, Phil.
Well, you could hear the crowd, wasn't it? Cunningham came on the field, the crowd found the voices, and again, they hit that try and demand button. They just can somehow, I don't know a side in sport that's more connected to the supporters than the St Helens one here at Knowsley Road.
And you can say what you like, Eddie, but when that man came from the touchline, Kieran Cunningham, he did 3 great tackles. Then when he was in possession, he just mesmerised them near the line and the try line, and the rest was done by Roby's kick. Sensational stuff, this. Bang. Oh, this is so many twists and turns. It got the ricochet. It came off a Giant's foot, and they got the rub of the green. This is a vital kick. It's tied up.
Well, there's the man who has been the man for so long for St Helens, and you do have to wonder what on earth they're going to do without him. Foster with the extras, yes! 24-22, the pendulum swings in St Helens' favour.
Well, they were quiet a moment ago. They were stunned, in fact. You talk about the contribution for many years from Kieran Cunningham, but what about this guy as well? I'm with you, Eddie. He has the ability. We know he's not the fastest in the world, but he knows how to position himself and come up with the goods. That's all you need.
Sean, how do you replace the irreplaceable?
Well, you don't. You just simply sit back, admire at what he's done in the game, and then you get on with life afterwards and realise that he's not going to be here, so that maybe somewhere down the line, another Kieran Cunningham will come along. And he's just been an outstanding player for St Helens, and a great ambassador for the game. But a person that he leads by example all the time, always has on the training field, always has in the match itself, and some people are just impossible to replace.
Well, he's 33 years of age now, Kieran Cunningham. How long does Mick Potter leave him out for? Because here he goes again.
Tried his damnedest to milk the penalty there.
He's only been on for 5 minutes, Eddie, and before that, he was off the field for 30 minutes of play, so I think you've got a lot longer left in him, especially the emotion of tonight should carry him to the end.
I think he's got to keep Kieran Cunningham and James Roby out there as long as he possibly can. 23 minutes left in the game. You know James Roby will get through. I think Kieran has to get through this game. If St Helens are to win this match, I think Kieran Cunningham has to be on the field at the end of this game.
He just launched himself at Earl Crabtree then.
He went into it as though his life depended on it. Bang! And he tried to keep his balance.
Good work from Gidley on Brown.
It's got to be a good kick for Robinson. It's not a bad one either. It's split them. It might be a little bit too strong, but he's not going to take the risk. He's been around too long as this fella.
And Kieran Cunningham, I think, has got just a touch of blood, hasn't he, coming from an eye injury. Maybe it was caused by that drive at Earl Crabtree.
Move! Back up! Hold! Go to.
He's still out there, though. I think he's just been patched up by the trainer on the run.
Third! Move!
Throughout the years, there it is.
There it is. There's a little bit of blood coming from the right eye.
I'm just saying, Eddie, throughout the years, they've had this wonderful ability, Saints, and this is the impact. I think it was a stray finger, perhaps, or the way he put his body on the line, did it? The way that Saints have this habit of scoring another try within the next 3 or 4 minutes.
Wilkin with the dink over the top. The perfect bounce, as it turns out, for Brett Hodgson.
Interesting kick that, Eddie. I actually don't think the kicks in general play have been particularly good tonight from either side. I know Matty Smith put one up early, and I think Cudjoe dropped the ball and they scored from it, but the kicks near the try line have been brilliant. I don't know how many tries we've seen tonight scored from kicks, and maybe that's testament to the fact that the defence has actually been pretty good from both teams. But in general play, I would say both sides would be a bit disappointed.
We can't be disappointed with the entertainment that we're witnessing, though. It's almost an hour gone, and the match is still there for winning. And here comes Brown for Huddersfield. Stabbed down the line for Hodgson to chase. Foster is there, though, but he allows the ball to run over the line.
He's asking the questions. He has done ever since he restarted this second half.
See, even that kick there, to me, you want that ball to stay in play. You don't want to find touch. You want to turn St Helens around. You want to get them to compete and contest and keep the ball in play. This break in play is not really going to benefit Huddersfield at all. It's actually going to benefit St Helens.
There's the problem for Kieran Cunningham. Just trying to stem the blood from the cut just on the eyebrow.
Amazing how Wellens has
Paul
gone
Wellens has gone into
hooker.
hooker.
Yeah, and
Is
Roby.
he the man to replace Kieran Cunningham?
Well, he's been around as long, almost, hasn't he? Hasn't he?
He has.
Yeah, he's a couple of years younger, I think.
He's saying there's any chance I can get a prop as well.
I think he's got to leave the field to be treated here.
He needs a fresh shirt, is what the referee wants initially.
Yeah. It's been a great battle, you know, between Gidley and Gilmore. They really have cancelled each other out. There's been some really tough tackles from either player.
They're playing on, Saints, with the 12 men while Cunningham is dealt with. Here is Pulatua. It's a penalty for St Helens. It's relieving penalty too. Lawrence just puts the hand up. There's no need to do that either, and he knows it.
Well, he was a hero, wasn't he, with that try just before half-time, and what a sensational try it was. But the big question now, Saints had the rest last week. The final quarter, this is when you see whether the petrol gauge is going to go down quickly or whether you're going to have anything left in the tank.
Yeah, just over the hour mark. Cunningham back with a fresh shirt. He finds Matty Smith, who in turn finds Tony Pulatua. Down he goes 10 metres from the line. Only 2 tackles gone, though. This is dangerous for Huddersfield. Cunningham! He fancies one, doesn't he? He fancies a try himself on this, the last game at Knowsley Road. It comes back, though, to Matty Smith. Here is Paul Wellens. Paul Wellens finds John Wilkin. Wilkin then to Roby. And here goes the youngster Dixon. Couldn't get the ball away. Cunningham just ambles into dummy half. Fireworks from him. Pulatua! Great try from Pulatua. Great work from Cunningham. Great work from Dixon. Pulatua, though, with the try. Tries in 3 of his last 4 prior to tonight. He played for Penrith in the 2003 Grand Final win against the Roosters down under. He got a try in the playoffs here last year against the Huddersfield Giants, and he has just repeated the dose.
Got the penalty to start with. Lawrence messing around. Pulatua wanted to make sure they get on with it. It was just a short, simple pass, and the way that he twisted away, there was nothing that Sean Lunt could do about it. It's a pressure situation. He spins around. They can't stop it. That's what it means. As we mentioned before, they have this wonderful habit, haven't they, the Saints? They put back-to-back tries within minutes.
And Tony Pulatua just increases the Saints' lead, and the kick to come.
Well, attack's the middle name, is it? That's only the second time in this second half that they've started possession inside their opponent's half, and they've scored. Do you know what? We see the silky skills, but more often than not, it's the simplicity when they get close to the opponent's line that inflicts the damage.
Well, if Jamie Foster kicks this, it'll be 30 points to 22 to St Helens, which is exactly the scoreline that they beat Huddersfield by here in June. The stakes slightly higher tonight than just 2 points. It's a place at next week's Old Trafford Grand Final. 32 points to 22 it is.
I'd like to have a little bet with you, Eddie, that we're going to see some more tries, because this is just turning out into a fantastic game. They have fought back. The Giants did exactly the same thing after the first half. It's getting to a point now where the Giants know they perhaps come up with a set pattern move.
I think, Steve, we might see them go back to the offload type game. They haven't had that much good ball in this half. They've sort of pretty much, I think they've been a little more conservative to start the second half. But I think we're going to see now, when they have got the ball, not necessarily play catch-up rugby league, but they know they're going to have to score first. They're going to have to score the next points.
Well, the penalties now are going St Helens' way, and this from Gilmore won't help Huddersfield.
The impact was
4 penalties in a row.
Yeah, and it just saps your energy and mental stability as well. And Gilmore knows that he made the impact first on the shoulder, but it finished up into the face.
Discipline. Holds.
We've been talking about it, the composure, Eddie. We keep saying that word, but that's the way you win the game.
Could have been another penalty there from Mason on Graham. Pulatua again. They've got such size, haven't they, in the likes of Pulatua, Soliola, Graham, Hargreaves, and of course this fellow Cunningham. And a bit of guile in the back row from the likes of Wilkin.
And the most important thing as far as St Helens is concerned, they're playing very, very calm, cool rugby league football.
Well, they know the territory, don't they?
Yeah, but nothing fancy, Eddie.
They know the road, they know the route, and they're after a 5th Grand Final in a row. to equal the Bradford Bulls' wonderful record. Look at Pulatua. It took 3 men then to bring him down. Farlongo was round his ankles, Gilmore and Lunt upstairs. Gidley tries to stab it through. It's well picked up there by Kevin Brown. Very well picked up.
Yeah, he's got great reactions, hasn't he, Kevin Brown? Gidley the kick through. I'm not so sure that Michael Potter would be happy with the way that they finished off that set. It was a good build-up by the forwards, but they've got the ability out there. That should have been a kick. Maybe a high bomb, applied the pressure. It was a nothing kick in the end from Gidley.
Mason takes it forward to the 40. Here is Robinson. Now Hodgson, Farlongo.
They've got to go for broke. Brett Hodgson got to chime into the three-quarter line from full back. Try to get that overlap. It's a good... Oh, no, it's a bad pass.
Went in front of Cudjoe, was picked up by Michael Lawrence.
Failed to make the halfway line on the last.
And Danny Brough pumps the ball downfield. That is a good kick because Wellens has to run it back. Let's get some news of Kyle Eastman, Bill.
Eddie, a sense of jubilation now on the Saints bench. A lot more optimism and maybe thinking that they've seen off the challenge of the Giants. But there's one guy, I think, still in the Saints dressing room who must be pretty dejected because Kyle Eastman has picked up yet another injury. Apparently, it isn't a recurrence of the hip injury that had kept him out. This is an ankle problem that he's picked up. Not a serious one, they're saying, but I'm sure bad enough not to allow him to come back tonight.
Well, he's had an ankle problem for some time, and Huddersfield have got a problem here because James Graham's just caught a high one.
Well, the lack of discipline as well, and it's Wild that's again made the impact, and it's finished up in the face. It's not going to be accepted by Phil Bentham. And they realise that if they keep giving these penalties away, their coach Nathan Brown must be furious. They can't get possession, can't get field position. Not surprisingly, Brett Hodgson has just had a little word in the ear of the official.
5 penalties in a row, squares the penalty count up at 7 apiece. 66 minutes exactly gone. Super League extra time, don't forget, you press the red button when we're finished here. You pick up all the analysis, the interviews, and the reaction to whatever the result is here tonight. Graham wearily to his feet. Pulatua will take them on himself. Tony Pulatua! Just short.
Sheer strength. Unbelievable at times, this fella.
Cunningham is so close. Just pops it back to Wellens. And Wellens goes. He was looking for his hat-trick there. Wouldn't be a bad page in the record books. Hat-trick in the last match. Roby!
Can't get it down. That's good defence. You can see how he's trying to twist, but they got the numbers there.
So they go back 10 metres. Right underneath the sticks. Graham. Held up this time legally. Last tackle. Cunningham just skipped into dummy half there. What's he got? Malocca this time. He's found Soliola. Comes back. And here's Flannery. And wide they go to Melly. Melly scores. And Eamon McMillan, the chairman, thinks he's going to Old Trafford. For a 5th year in a row. Well, Francis Melly's had his moments he will want to forget in this match. But that is a moment he will remember for the rest of his life. It could be the try that takes Saints back to Old Trafford for a 5th year in a row.
They can't afford to be complacent though, Eddie. And Mick Potter has to get the message out. It was the offload here, wasn't it? Look at that. 3 men, as soon as he went over, they had the overlap. There was only Crabtree there. In and out, got underneath him. Great finish. But the offload from Pulatua, look at this. That really set it up. Squeezes in. Sends the crowd wild.
So Francis Melly's try, that just edges St Helens further ahead. 34-22. It's 2 converted tries now. And Foster hasn't missed yet. 5 from 5. This is such an important kick. It means that Huddersfield would have to score 3 times. Foster with the kick. It's 6 from 6 for this young man. 20 years of age. Nathan Brown, I think, realises the dream is just filtering away.
Unbelievable how a game can turn around. We mentioned the fact in the first half, Huddersfield Giants, 10 offloads, St Helens 0. In the second half, the Giants have done 1, and the Saints have done 10. They've just turned it all around, but they've come up with possession, I think.
They have here, because it's a knock-on by St Helens from a short kick-off. Huddersfield will get the head and feed. Flannery saying he was taken out in the air. I think he's got a point. Cudjoe got him before his feet hit the deck.
Yeah, certainly made contact, but 50-50 as far as the official. He's given him the go. Yeah, but he did knock on, to be fair, I reckon, before Cudjoe made a good contact.
Time on.
So Huddersfield, they have to score in this set of 6, you feel? And then they have to go on and do a Saints on the Saints.
Yep. They've got the quality out there.
Robinson. Here's Cudjoe. Ball held in one hand, you see, from Cudjoe. Down he goes in the tackle from Hargreaves.
Kevin Brown is organising things, he's way out. He'll get it perhaps the second. No, it's a long one straight to him from Brough.
Cudjoe's hurt, by the way, as Brown takes them on. Welland's last line of defence again. Gilmore. Brough fires it to Brett Hodgson. And Brett Hodgson gives it back then brilliantly. That's Stephen Wild, isn't it?
It is. But what about the defence as well? They've got to go for broke.
Oh, it's a great kick from Robinson. It's a knock-on, it's play on. It's a try, I think, for Lunt, is it? The referee will hand this upstairs.
Has he squeezed over? He's spinning around his Lunt.
Also the knock-on.
It was definitely a knock-on by St Helens.
I think it was Wellens that couldn't get the ball in. Robinson put the little kick through. Is Brown onside? I think he is from that angle. So that's A-OK. Ian Smith will roll it through. Get a second one. I think he's okay. Both feet behind the kicker. The ball's left the boot of Robinson. Was it Matty Smith? Or was it Wellens? It's Wellens that goes for it. There's the knock-on. That's play on. Lunt said this is a gift. Does he spin? He takes the ball A-OK. That's fine. Watch him go. Watch him go. Does he get it down? Oh, from that angle, I can't see it. Maybe
Second try if he has. I think his own player here will mask the view as well.
We might be short, Eddie. I think Dixon's knee may have just pushed the ball away. I think he's short. He's about half an inch away from the whitewash. That's the ball there, and you can see that the whitewash is about half an inch, maybe an inch. It's going back. Dixon has probably saved it. It's anxious moments for the Giants and for the Saints.
A phrase comes to mind. Benefit
of the doubt.
Of doubt.
But I think when they slow it down, I think you might have, it's going to be a shame because Lunt was very quick in picking up that ball.
I think there's a lot of doubt, Eddie.
And that is being pulled back. Well, has Andrew Dixon saved the day? Or is he going to allow the Giants one last throw of the dice?
Well, no try is the decision. 0 tackle to the attack. They've ruled he's been held up in the field of play.
Wait for me. No. Wait for me.
So it's still a very, very dangerous situation for the Saints. And here comes Crabtree. It's all hands to the pumps for St Helens now. The big man goes down.
Will they swing it wide? Will they try to get this sliding defence caught out?
They're giving it to Robinson. Now it's Kevin Brown. Short ball then. So close again for Farlongo. Brown gives it to Lon Patrick. Oh, St Helens are defending the line for all they're worth. 9 minutes to go. Lovely little shimmy from Fayumu, but it's not there. Bruff to Brett Hodgson. Short ball from him. Failongo again is held up. This is sensational, St Helens defence.
It's got to be a stab into the in goal.
Hodgson does that, and it's picked up by Wellens inevitably.
What a game he's had tonight. Incredible is the man. The kick was on, but the experience told in the end. That was sensational positional play.
And it was just a few minutes after Sean Lund had this effort disallowed. And when he did have it disallowed, Kieran Cunningham just patted him on the head.
Great respect.
Move! Go!
Here's Cunningham again.
5!
Goes down on the last tackle, still just inside his own half. Now the kick is important for St Helens. That was Matty Smith, so the kick is from Wilkin. Ooh, straight to Brett Hodgson. Sean McRae's right, the kicking hasn't been very good tonight.
That's a great pass. That is a great pass.
It was.
One of the passes of the night, but look how they get back. Roby round the ankles, and it looks like Brown's picked up an injury. He got crunched as he went down. Watch this. Bump. I think that's a shoulder problem. Matt Gidley finished him off, and I think you might find a bit of a problem with the shoulder, or is it the leg? The way.
Well, Gidley immediately called for assistance for Kevin Brown. The game's been played in great spirit, I must say.
Yeah, it has. He's had a big game as well, Kevin Brown. He really has worked hard. He's shown a lot of quality and skill, and he's controlled. He's kept this Giant side alive.
Oh, he's been terrific for them tonight. So, and this guy here will get an offload, David Fayumu, but they're the risks that you've got to take at this particular time of the game. You can't blame David Fayumu for that. He's got to take the odds to it.
Charles Wilkin came up with the goods.
They've got nothing to lose, you're right, Sean. They've got to keep at it, but Saints, they will just barge straight through because they're masters when they get anywhere near the opposition try line.
It's Hargreaves. 2 tries from him in the first half. First for 17 months. Cunningham, short ball. Soliola.
He's done a good job as well, hasn't he, Soliola?
Here's Cunningham. Here's Cunningham again. Finds Matty Smith. Now it's Dixon. Now, chance here. He's done it again. Kieran Cunningham. Kieran Cunningham. Well, he thinks he has. The crowd thinks he has. But Phil Bentham just wants to check by handing it upstairs to Ian Smith. But has Kieran Cunningham written yet another line in a remarkable career history?
No doubt. No doubt in anybody's mind. And you can see the frustration on Sean Lunt's face, because Kieran Cunningham knows perfectly well he has done it again. The dream is still alive. The dream of retiring at a grand final. There's confirmation. What a player.
He's only got 5 tries this season, but we've seen 2 of the most important tries of any season. The one that got St Helens to 2nd place, and this one tonight. And of course he also scored in the playoffs against Warrington 2 weeks ago.
You wouldn't have bet against it, would you? I'm going to have a go, no doubt. Furious is Lunt. He knows they are out. The Giants, they played wonderful tonight. But that man, as soon as he came on the sideline, the crowd lifted, the players lifted. What a talisman. What a talisman. And he raises the arm and salutes this massive crowd here tonight.
6 from 6. This is going to be 7 from 7 for Foster. And St Helens are going back to Old Trafford for a 5th year in a row. They'll play either Wigan or Leeds. That will be decided tomorrow. It looks like a hammering. It hasn't been.
No, far from it, Eddie. It's been a wonderful effort from the Giants.
Super League Extra Time follows live by the red buttons, by the way. We'll be leaving you pretty quickly here tonight on Sky Sports in high definition, but press the red buttons and join us for all the match analysis, the interviews and everything else that goes with Super League Extra Time. That's available immediately after the game is over here, because we've got to go to the boxing once this game is completed here, which is now about 5 minutes away.
Looks like a knock-on, and it is. And they went for the short kick-off. It was their only hope. And you can see there that Wild definitely got the right fingertips to it. They know.
Well, it's gone according to script here tonight as far as league placings were concerned, but Huddersfield have taken them every inch of the way. Will it go according to the script tomorrow? Will Wigan, who finished first, get to Old Trafford? We'll find out here on Sky Sports. The dream's over for Nathan. And I think we've got some news on Leroy Cudjoe.
Yeah, sad end to Cudjoe's night and season. He's picked up a knee ligament injury by the sound of things. The hero of the win against the Crusaders, of course, and the win against Warrington. But he's in the dressing room and desperately disappointed.
Well, they led for 8 minutes, Huddersfield, and then they've been hit by 4 converted tries.
Well, he's furious with himself, isn't he? He made a run of about 15 metres there and just couldn't keep control of it. How's that for a hit? And there's been some big ones, some real bell ringers tonight.
Wild hangs on.
You say, Eddie, that they're going back to the grand final for the 5th consecutive year. In a salary cap sport, that means that the people running this club are pretty amazing, because there are other teams spending as much on players but not having the success that this club are having. And over the last decade, it's amazing that players like Paul Schoolthorpe and Sean Long have retired. Chris Joynt have left this club, and yet the success has continued on. The management makes some good decisions.
And they only signed 1 player this year for the 2010 season, 1 marquee player, Sia Soliola, and he hasn't hardly played.
Well, they're served by some good local clubs. Blackbrook Royals, one example. I mean, we've got Foster, Emmett, and you know, Dixon, all from that club here playing for them tonight. They've got a great connection with the amateur junior feeder clubs, and it works well for the team.
It does. They're 3 minutes away from Old Trafford. There's no doubt that they're going. It's been a brave effort from Huddersfield Giants, though. Here is Hodgson, who will keep it going to the end. His last 2.5 minutes in Huddersfield colours will be with Warrington this time next year. Gets the pass away, finds David Hodgson.
Well, they won't throw the towel in, the Giants. They realise they want to try to finish with a bit of a flourish. And there's a run from Lunt to get the offload as well.
Here's Kevin Brown. Fayumu sees a little gap and goes for it. Not a forward pass, though. Chairman Eamon McManus. Little smile, and that was when they hit the front and he knew they were on the way to Old Trafford.
Calm down, Eamon. Calm down.
He's just spotted himself on the big screen and having a little smile, a little chuckle to himself.
And what great respect there, the crowd, you know, shouting out his name.
Not many chairmen get that, do they?
Well, they get shouted at, but they don't get praised like that.
Here come the Saints to try and finish on a flourish.
Well, they'll be up to jumper time now, but you just never know with Saints, do you? We saw the run previous from Kieran Cunningham when he lost possession, and they were furious. And they'll just each up the seconds.
Roby will drive it forward. So we have a minute of rugby league left at Knowsley Road, and St Helens are going to go out with their colours flying high and their heads held high. And Matty Smith has played his full part again in this victory.
Yeah.
And with the problems for Kyle Eastman, will probably be making the most remarkable, the most unpredictable appearance at Old Trafford in the history of this competition next Saturday. But the Giants are happy with what they've seen. Their supporters, they've done them proud this year.
Oh, they've got every reason to be happy. And, you know, there's very few of them leaving the stadium. They know that the game's over, but listen to them. They're trying to compete with the Saints go marching in.
And That's a little break from Brett Hodgson. 10 seconds of life at Knowsley Road.
It's knocked
Bayuma
on,
with the
it's
knock
all
on.
over. That'll do it.
Saints are back at Old Trafford. They leave Old Trafford with their pride intact. But the question has to be asked, how will they cope with life after Cunningham?